You probably need to get over here. Can you squeeze past Buckaroonie? Yeah, I didn't ask for your sex life. Hey-o!
Orange Theory kicked my ass.
Did it?
Oh, man. My legs are hurting.
Oh, what's going on, guys? Odd Mother's in the house. Hello, Rebecca. Oh God, we gotta
Oh,
fix
we're
this.
live.
We are live right now.
All right.
That better? Hello, Rebecca. Hello, Odd Mother. So good of you to join us again. We're just kidding. I know I'm late. It's fine.
My fault.
It's his fault. You can't even see him. Look at us. We're off to a rough start today, inmates. Every day. Bear with us. Who's this? Connor's in the house. What's up, Connor? Connor, have you seen a movie called Body Melt? If you haven't, say you go ahead and avoid that. Little child pornography there for you. That was my daughter. It doesn't count. Well, too bad. There it is. Oh, Monica's in the house. She's we're still getting our act together. We don't know what we're doing here. We're gonna do a podcast though, and we're gonna talk a little body melt. Psycho Bunny Death Cult is in the house. We are now on the Psycho Bunny Death Cult channel, if such a thing exists. We're members of the Psycho Bunny Death Cult.
Yes, we are.
Inmates. Oh man, I watched it after last week's show. Rebecca, you actually watched Body Melt? Why would you do that?
I watched it twice.
You watched it twice.
Mm-hmm.
Get out.
Body Melt? You watched it twice?
Why did you do that?
Okay.
There's no need for that.
I was busy the first time I watched it, so I need to watch it again.
Okay. I don't know how I'm going to explain this movie to you guys. Yes, I don't know why. It's all over the goddamn place.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it's what happens when you go to Australia, I guess. Friggin' Australians. We're looking good. I never heard of it. Connor, stay away from Body Melt. Connor, have you seen Street Trash? That is a much better version of Body Melt, I feel like. What's up, Pat? What's up, Jesse? Pat, the parole officer is here.
I
That's
got it
better.
on the
There we
right
go.
site, right?
Obviously, we're there.
Okay, we're there.
I'd hate to think you were on the wrong site and we were there, because then that would raise some questions.
That would mean we're in
We have been pirated and somebody is out there doing weird stuff. That how I was with Rocky Horror Picture Show. Well, yeah, I get that, Connor. That's like
everything that will kill you.
that's very true, Rebecca.
You
There,
guys have
I've been to Australia.
Mhm.
They also have dangerous women.
Oh, yeah?
Yes.
Mm.
And they will do some things to you that, yes.
All righty then.
All right, let's move right into this thing, shall we?
Woo.
Butthole in back there, Darius?
I certainly
Not 100%, no, but
do.
there's ointments and topical creams and things like that. Scarlett's in the house. What's up, Scarlett?
Hey, Scarlett.
All right, let's get this fucking show on the road here, shall we? Let's see if we can make it through a whole show before we get banned again.
Were you
Or,
there last week, too?
well, no, we never got unbanned. That's why we had to use my wife's
Mm.
Facebook thing, because Facebook hates me, apparently. Now I had to set up a whole other account and do some shit. All right. I probably shouldn't be talking about that because then I'm going to get banned again.
Hi, Mandy.
Mandy's in the house. What's up, Mandy?
Hey, Mandy.
Is that my co-host from the old psych ward?
Mandy.
Host
Sorry,
of the
Mandy. I
The
automatically
hostess
think
with
of
the
the
mostest?
movie.
Barry
Mandy.
Manilow song.
No, I think of
Oh, yeah, it's much better.
Yeah.
You ripped my fucking shirt! All right, here we go. Oh, hold on. Hold on. Just hold on there. All right, here we go. That's right, inmates. We're talking about Body Melt. It's from 1993, written and directed by Philip Brophy. This one stars Gerard Kennedy, Andrew Diado, and Ian Smith. It got 5.2 stars on IMDb. I'm going to be honest with you. That's a little high.
Yeah,
I feel
it
like
is. What
that-
is Street Trash?
I can tell you. You want to know?
Yeah.
You want to know what?
I would have given it a 5.
I think Street Trash could probably coming in about a 4.6. It got
Oh,
no.
that is unfair.
It got 6.1.
Okay.
It's a full point ahead of Body Melt, and hold that thought, about 6 years ahead of Body Melt also. So this was a. I like to think of it as a.
Failed.
I like to think of it as a love letter to Street Trash, an Australian love letter. Street Trash is a better movie. This movie, all over the fuck. I'm gonna have a hell of a time explaining this to you because, whoa, this movie is on Percocet or something.
And the women in this movie. Whoa.
This movie is rated AO, which I believe is a Australian rating thing. I assume it means adults only. There is some nudity involved.
Yeah, right off the bat.
Right, coming right at you, and it's oily and sweaty, and I don't know that I approve of this particular nudity. I'm usually a fan of female nudity in horror films, as we discussed earlier in the podcast, but this one,
What was wrong with it?
I don't know. She was okay. First off, there's drug needles involved. I don't approve of that. I don't care for that, especially when
It makes it hard to spank the needle snake.
dude, you get into intravenous things with your sex scenes, and they're on a leather couch.
No, it's not on Netflix, Connor.
Connor, go to Tubi TV. That's where I found it.
That's where I watched it.
Tubi TV.
Oh.
Is that where you got it?
Yeah.
Pirate ship.
Yeah.
Criminal. She's a criminal. She's a criminal.
If you watch it on
Thief.
TV, there is commercials.
There is commercials. It's fine.
But
You're
they
not,
don't edit it.
the commercial's a good opportunity for you to see what else is on.
That's right.
This is bad business. All right. Anyway, so we're going to start this movie off. We're in Australia. The whole thing's Australian. Movie starts off with like a commercial for something called Vimuville. That is I guess we could call that a spa resort type of a deal.
Yeah.
Fitness oriented. It's like you're going to go there, you're going to get in shape, they're going to give you some healthy food, you're going to leave there feeling like $1 million is what they're trying to sell you on. Stevesy's in the house. What's up, Stevesy?
Hey, Steve.
So it's looks like a 90s infomercial. You know, you got the hot chick walking you through the thing. She's showing you all the treadmills and swimming pools and all that horse shit. And then we cut to this very strange, I guess it was a sex scene. There was a naked guy on top of a naked lady at one point. I don't know that they were going for any kind of sexual congress or I don't know, man. I don't know what to be honest with you, they're on a leather couch. They're both naked and extremely oily. I don't care for that. I don't care for the oils, and I don't care for the leather. Have you ever had sex on a leather couch? It's like you're being velcroed to the upholstery.
Yeah, but that's why you gotta have the
Oh
oil.
god, yeah. It's like slip and slide
Yeah.
with a boner. Is that what you want? You want me to chase you around a slip and slide with a boner?
That's not what I want from
Yes,
you.
it is. Lion sack of shit. I know your tricks, buddy.
You want to try it out there? Let's go.
Hey, we got time and a front lawn. Rebecca, you have some notes on the body meld. I'd love to, by all means, regale us. In the meantime, it's a weird thing because they have sex, and then post coitus, she injects him with something willingly, mind you. He does not have any objections to the injection, and then after that, she makes a phone call. Still naked, still oiled up, still sitting on the leather couch.
Yep.
And she calls somebody, and she's like, "Yeah, he's not going to get very far. I shot him full of this X39 stuff, enough to kill a cow. My guess is he's going through our computers right now," which is exactly what this naked guy is doing. Now, I can't tell you the names of either of these characters, and to be honest with you, they don't fucking matter. All right, it's corporate business lady and naked
Just
guy.
call her Juliet. She reminded me of
Julia from Hellraiser? Yes,
Oh,
I
yeah.
agree. I agree completely. I would say more attractive than Julia from Hellraiser.
I would agree.
Oh, yeah.
You think so?
Yes.
I do not understand the appeal of Claire Higgins in Hellraiser.
Mm-mm.
She had a Beavis haircut.
Oh yeah.
Queen bitch from the start. All right, that's a whole other podcast
Yeah,
right
whole
there.
other
We'll get into that later. We'll do a Hellraiser retrospective. All right, anyway, so from there, we basically see this naked guy doing some industrial espionage on Vimuville. He's going through their computer programs. He's still naked, and he's pirating data or something, like stealing things from the computer.
Mhm.
And since this is 1993, we get a
It reminds me of Pip-Boy.
little bit. There was also a virtual driving game
Yeah.
that was very similar. So I don't know what the fuck is going, but he steals a file from the computer that is like a virtual tour of a cul-de-sac in a suburban neighborhood.
Mhm.
Pebbles Court is the name of the street, and it basically via this virtual reality thing, it takes you to the end of the cul-de-sac, and then you mouse over the different houses. It tells you who's in the house and what's going on with them. This should teach people not to trust free samples in the mall, or if they come in the mail, Rebecca, because apparently that's how this went down in this particular neighborhood. So he's like, "Oh, I got all the information I need. I'm gonna get the fuck out of here." So he throws some clothes on, goes hauling ass for the front door of this building. Find out they're like in an office building type of an environment. Jumps in a car and goes hauling ass towards Pebbles Court, which is the address and the name he found. Okay, excellent. Now we're going to cut to Pebbles Court. All right, it's a weirdly out of place cul-de-sac. It's like one street ends in a cul-de-sac, no other houses around. Like maybe they're thinking about building more houses, they just haven't gotten to it yet, or I don't know, man. But to make a long story short, the Vimuville, whatever you want to call it, is experimenting on this particular cul-de-sac. Rebecca got a message restricted. What the fuck do you suppose that means?
Oh, I don't know.
Rebecca, I don't know what you did. Maybe she sent us a dick pic or something.
I'm not sure.
Something that's considered a body part from. She picked it. Blame her, not me.
Well, it wouldn't.
There's some
Yeah.
various body parts involved. All right. Anyway, so this guy's hauling ass. We cut to Pebbles Court. We get to meet some of the neighborhood cronies there. In one house, we got a dude that is really into running, but he feels the need to dress like one of the village people before he does so.
Was this you?
Yeah, absolutely. I have. Well, in the '90s, I was in junior high, but I had that exact outfit in the closet right over there, and I have the big stupid headphones. We also have like a bachelor type of a guy who works for a radio station. We have two kids whose parents are gone. We have a pregnant couple, and then we have the family from Halloween 3. I felt like,
Yeah.
right? The tourist family. So that's all. What now? Apparently, everybody in this neighborhood or this particular cul-de-sac has been inundated with various Vimuville paraphernalia and free offers and all kinds of fun stuff, and they're all just pumped for this Vimuville crap. So we're going to cut back to our escapee, the guy who's racing towards Pebbles Court. He stops at a gas station. Now, whatever the fucking drugs were that got pumped into his system, they're starting to take effect.
Oh man.
He's like foaming at the mouth, and he's like, blah, 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 and he's got the shakes, and he's sweating. And for some reason,
For gas, laundry detergent.
weird like cuts and gashes are opening up on him all of a sudden.
Yeah.
What the hell kind of a drug makes your skin open up into whatever? It doesn't
Not
matter.
a good one.
It doesn't matter. Apparently, the antidote for this shit though is laundry detergent, because he goes in and steals some laundry detergent from the gas station and tries drinking it, and then tries squirting it into his various lesions and things like that. It's disgusting.
Yeah.
It's a pretty
It's a
nasty
whole new version of
situation.
Tide Pod right there.
Why would you do that? I mean, I'm perfectly willing to write off all of the.
That was probably.
Why? How is that soothing?
Well,
It's
you know,
laundry detergent.
I don't know. It could work for some people.
All right, you're in the medical field. Don't go to her hospital. I'll tell you right now.
Yeah, don't come to my hospital. You'll get infected for sure.
Or you'll get some Tide Pods coming at you. All right. So he goes and he gets to and then he hops back in the car and he starts hauling ass towards Pebbles Court again. Okay?
Hi, Landry.
Now he's flying through pretty soon the cops are on him because he's like breaking the speed limit. They're chasing him down to Pebbles Court. He doesn't stop for the cops. He keeps going. Eventually, like his throat opens up. By that I mean he like gashes in his neck open right up, which is disgusting. And it's almost like somebody slit his throat or something because he starts bleeding out just as he's hitting Pebbles Court at top speed. So he naturally smashes into another parked car and goes flying through the windshield and expires probably right there on the spot. Once he's dead, though, you see like these weird tendrils come out of the gashes and do like a and then go right back into his body. Then the cops show up and they're like, what the fuck is this guy's problem? He's speeding all over the place. He crashed into what was it, like a moving guy's van was there, crashed into that. So they're like, okay, we need statements from the whole neighborhood comes out to see what the hell's going on. They're like, we need statements from everybody, and we're going to need to talk to witnesses and stuff. The two kids come out. These guys are a couple of atypical 90s meatballs.
No,
They're bad. They're bad, Scarlett. You can stay away from this one.
Yeah.
Is it just me, or do Australian kids love American sports? Tim, is that a thing over there? Because these kids were decked out.
Oh, that's how it is in Hungary.
Is it?
If you have Nike or Adidas, oh
Boom.
my God, they look like they're in the Olympics.
But that's what these kids look like.
Yeah.
Chicago
Totally.
Bulls sweater, St. Louis Cardinals hat. I think one guy had like a Phoenix Suns thing going on. I don't know, man. Maybe it's an Australian thing, but they're decked to the nines, look just like typical 90s kids. They come out and they give some horseshit story about, oh, our parents are gone and we're going to go camping and we got to get out of here. And then the cop tries to talk to the DJ guy, and the DJ guy's like, I can't hang out, man. I got to go pick my friend up at the airport. He's like, all right, I'll talk to you later. So basically, the cop just kind of lets everybody go without any statements at all whatsoever. Shitty cop, really.
Right.
So that's great. Now we're going to hang. Here's one of the problems I had with this movie. Who the fuck is the main character here? We're all over the place with this entire neighborhood.
Oh, yeah.
So for the time being, we're going to be hanging with our DJ guy, the bachelor dude that works at the radio station. He goes to the airport to pick up his friend. Before he leaves, though, he goes through his mail and sees this Vimuville place has sent him some sample packets of I don't know, like a vitamin mix type of amount. It amounts to some green fizzy shit.
Yeah.
But he's like, oh, it's free. I'm going to go ahead and check it out. So he makes himself a glass of this green crap. And all right, there you go. So he drinks it, goes to the airport to meet his friend. This is where things start to get a little wackadoodle, my friends.
Oh, yeah.
He's hanging around the airport. And as we learned from the guy in the high-speed chase, the Vimuville vitamin mix is basically some kind of a contagion. And it works in three separate parts. First part is hallucinatory. Second part is glandular. And the third part is fatal. So if you live to part 3 and you haven't driven yourself off a cliff or something like that, it's going to kill you anyway. So now he's got the Vimuville Vitamix crap in him. He's starting to hallucinate. Now, I've never done hallucinogenics. I would like to at some point. But this guy gets the world's shittiest hallucinations. First, he thinks there's a homeless lady sitting across from him, staring at him. And he's like, hey, how's it going? And then she disappears. So, well, fuck. That really sucked. And his friend that he was supposed to pick up stands him up. So now he's just hanging at the airport. So he goes to the airport lounge because he wants to pay $23 for a diet iced tea. And he's sitting there, and then his next hallucination, which is even worse than the last one, is I'm going to say a domestic abuse survivor.
Yeah.
That is also homeless and looking for a place to stay and has a bit of an attitude problem.
Oh, yeah.
So he's like drinking his $23 iced tea. And he like looks around and he looks over, and there's a young lady sitting across the table from him all of a sudden, and she has been beat to shit.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Swollen face, scratch marks, bloodshot eye, and she's chain smoking, and she's like, I need a place to stay. And he's like, and then she disappears. So this guy is fucked up. Okay. Here's why I don't do hallucinogenics. Horror movie crap all over my house, right? If I start hallucinating, I'm probably going to think that she's some kind of a succubus and he's a werewolf, and I have to kill both of them. Otherwise, they're going to get me first, right?
Yeah.
That's why I don't do it. So what's going on in this dude's life where all he sees is battered women is what I got to wonder.
Yeah.
He's just,
There's something wrong.
there's definitely something wrong with him. I think he's been working out at the gym, hitting the female heavy bag or something.
Yes,
The one with boobs on it.
I can.
I don't know, man. It's weird. So now he's like all fucked up. Whoa. All right. That's very strange. Now we're going to cut to the two kids. We're all over the fucking place here, guys. Two kids have left their house and are driving to their,
Mine or
they
something
think
like
they're
that?
going, they told the cops that they're going on this weird camping trip to a mine,
Yeah.
which is strange. Turns out via this road trip, we're going to find out that they're actually headed to the Vimuville testing facility or whatever you want to call it. And the reason they're going there is because they've been sent some kind of literature with promise of a free stay, free weekend, luxurious resort. And apparently they're looking for sperm donors at the Vimuville testing facility. And that's why they're going there, because they are hot to trot. And there's going to be hot ladies and they need some sperm. And these two
Right.
fucking 16-year-old kids are going to lay it down on them.
Have we got
Monica.
some sperm for you?
I got hot sperm. I got wet sperm. I got ugly sperm. I got 90s.
Whoa. Now, Charlotte reminded me of.
Oh, yeah, I can see that. I could see that. He reminded me of Doogie Howser's best friend.
I
Whoever
could see that one.
whoever that kid was. I
Yeah.
couldn't
Oh, yeah.
tell you anything.
Yeah.
They head to the Hills Have Eyes family. You're exactly right, Rebecca. So now this, Rebecca, maybe you can clear this part up for us. Oh, Inky Binky's in the house. Hey, Breezy.
Hey, Brianna.
Now, Rebecca, maybe you can clear this part up with it for us. Monica and I were talking before the show. Now, the kids are driving. They're doing fine. Everything's copacetic. We cut back to the DJ for a second, and then we cut back to the kids, and they're pulling into the Hills Have Eyes family, and suddenly their front windshield is smashed. Do you remember, did something happen that I completely missed? No?
No, I watched it twice. I didn't see anything.
Nothing. All of a sudden, window smashed.
I thought it happened at the beginning.
But do you think the high-speed chase guy ran into their windshield?
That's what I
I would agree with that, except that there is a work van that the car smashes into, which blocks
That car.
that car. You know what I'm saying? It's like a bang, and then the kid's car is over here. So it, I don't know, man.
You're looking way too much.
I just want to know what happened to the windshield. You know, there's going to be an insurance claim adjuster that gets involved here. Well, if there were any survivors, there would be, and he would have some questions. And more to the point, the kids show up and they're like, "Oh, yeah, look at the windshield. See that? Yeah, I don't know. It's the front fucking windshield,
Mhm.
and all it's the windshield is pretty much gone. They have like a plastic saran wrap thing going on in a very white trash kind of a way that like that's going to solve anything. I don't know what they're going for. I need to solve the mystery of the windshield.
Maybe they ended up taking the guy's car
That would make sense.
because they were both white vehicles.
That would actually
Oh.
make more sense, although that was never broached in the movie at all. Hey, sure, I'm glad we took the accident.
Yeah.
He doesn't need it.
The
We'll take it.
director forgot. And then they were like, oh, shit.
But that one's got a windshield out. How does that even make
They
sense?
were like, "Keep it in the film."
Okay.
Americans are too stupid to figure that out.
Not these ones, you motherfuckers. We got you. We got you, Australia. Saw it. It doesn't make any sense. All right, moving right along.
On we go.
The mystery of the windshield has been solved. Sort of. Hopefully. Ish. It was never revealed how it was smashed. I guess we'd have to watch the director's cut. That's exactly right, Rebecca. But that is a question that I feel needs answering. And more to the point, how did the kids nonchalantly not notice that their front windshield is gone? We're not going to waste any more time talking about the windshield.
And
I'll
not worth
Google
watching
it
the
for you.
I don't care. I don't really care anymore. As soon as we get done with this show, I'm going to erase Body Melt from my entire history existence.
No, he's not. He's going to dwell on it for like.
I
3
probably
days.
win. I'm going to send these guys text messages for
Yeah.
the next week.
I got
The
it.
fucking windshield. What the fuck is going on? I watched it 3 more times. I can't even tell you what. All right. Anyway, so they pull up to this gas station, which is in the middle of the Australian outback, or as Rebecca so eloquently put it, hills have eyes country. That's exactly where we are.
Oh.
We have ourselves some inbred / radiated mutants
Oh, yeah.
/ just deformed people. And it's a family of them, and they are hanging around this gas station. You got the dad, who's got like a weird, like puffball skin tumor thing
It
over here.
reminded me of,
I could see that.
yeah,
Yeah, a little bit. Much less attractive Michael Rooker, by
Yes.
the way. We have two, could be boys, could be girls. They're very large individuals, and they're pretty ambiguous. We have a female who has a lisp and like a big hanging overbrow. She looks like a caveman. And she's horny as shit, too. So she is ready to do some partying.
So strap on.
You'll look out. And she'll manhandle you. She's a big one. She's got some forearms on her. She will wrestle you to the ground. We're going to get into that. So they're like, oh, shit, yeah, well, we're here at a gas station. Maybe they can do something with our windshield here. So the head guy, he's like, yeah, we'll fix your windshield. Just pull it around. So they do just that. Now they're stuck hanging here at the gas station while the windshield gets fixed. Apparently, that's going to take a couple hours. Okay, all right. So that's interesting. Now we're going to cut back to our neighborhood, Pebbles Court. Let's go to our pregnant couple here. We haven't touched on them yet. They're both, well, she's pregnant. I thought this was going to be our main character here because they seem the most sympathetic out of everybody.
Right.
They got their packets of the Vimuville mixer crap, and they're like, oh, let's check it out. It'll be great. It'll be good for the baby, maybe. So they both, well, she drinks it. He doesn't. He goes to work. Well, now we know there's some bad shit going to be coming down her pipe. No pun intended.
why would you do that?
It came in the mail. It's
Well,
free. It's free.
Oh my God.
Why would you not?
Because
she's
she's
pregnant.
pregnant.
That's a good point. But
Hey.
that's a good point.
Hey, I'm pregnant. This stuff good for me. I should try it.
I'm gonna go ahead and drink a quart of it. I'm sure it'll be fine. It's good for the it's got Vita something in the label.
Oh,
Okay, interesting. Now we're gonna cut to our DJ or radio station employee, whatever he was. Hallucinations are kicking back up. He gets back from the airport. The domestic abuse survivor is now in his living room, and she's like, "So this is your place, huh? It's a real shithole. What are you doing living in a place like this?" And he's like, I just got divorced and stuff. You take the guest room over here, and I'll take this room." And she's like, "Yeah, that's right,
yeah, what is her?
dude." Clearly, her judging by the scarring on her face, her attitude hasn't gotten her very far in the world. To the point where she's now shacking up with random strangers that she met at an airport. Regardless, this is a hallucination, and I think he's starting to understand that he's hallucinating. So he's like, "All right, I'm just going to go to the guest room." So he goes to the guest room, and finally, he gets like a hot chick hallucination, which is a nice change. But this is where things get weird. So the hot chick comes rolling in, and she's like, "Hey, I saw you at the airport. I gave you my beat up look because I wanted to make sure you were okay." Like she's some kind of a demon or something. And he's like, "Oh, yeah, and I'm happy to help." So she hops on him and starts giving him like it's some kind of a massage, but like on his front, and it's not really like she gives him like a little nipple twisty, like a little tweak. Incidentally, if anybody wants to see a real nipple twisty, check out our short film in which Miss Monica gave everybody's favorite asshole Chuck a right twisty. Give him a reap. She does that, and it's like all sexy and slow with the music, and she's like, you're thinking maybe she's having sex with him, but she's really not because she keeps talking to him.
Mm-hmm.
And then like as she's like playing with his fat rolls on his stomach, she just kind of reaches in between one of them and like pulls out a rib. And she's like, "I got your rib." Ah! And then he wakes up and he's like, "Oh God, that was a nightmare. What the fuck?" These boys were very at ease with these people running in fields, making circles in the truck. That's exactly right,
Yeah.
Rebecca. We're going to get to that in a second.
Mm-hmm.
So there's some really weird shit going on and around Pebbles Court.
All right.
You notice something, though. The guy who's running all the time, not a problem.
Not a problem.
Not a problem at all. Like, "Hey, try some of this." He's like, "No, I'm going on a run." And then he takes off, and then he comes back, and everything has gone to shit. That's what's going to be my life one of these days. I'm going to come home from a run, and Buddy's going to be short a rib, and Monica's going to be all beat up for some goddamn reason. What the fuck? 3 miles. It was 30 minutes. What happened? Anyway, so the neighborhood's going to shit. Now we're going to cut back to the kids with the Hills Have Eyes family. As Rebecca just alluded to, these kids have like suddenly become best friends with the family because they're like playing jokes on each other and stuff and chasing each other around in the fields and stuff like that. At one point, one of the kids like throws a rock at a kangaroo.
That was hilarious. Like, there's a call at it.
And I guess, yeah, it does like a, and then throws a rock from like a quarter mile away, by the way, drops the kangaroo like a sack of shit. And then the two inbred kids go running up to the kangaroo and like cut its head open and eat part of its brain.
Yeah.
Which was kind of interesting.
I thought they were going to make out there for a second.
I don't know. I don't know which way we're going with this. But from there, they go back and they're hanging for a minute. Now, the big girl, the one that I mentioned earlier with the hanging brow and the lisp and the big forearms, has made it known to the smaller guy that she is horny and she's ready for action. So this poor schmuck, who is also horny and is apparently ready to put it in just about anything, starts laying the Mac down on this inbred mutant.
Yeah.
He like rolls up and he's got his sweater tied around his waist. He rolls up and he's like, should I take this off? So she's like, let's go in the shed. So she takes him into the shed, like this weird Rob Zombie-esque, like
yeah, she says, you want to
come here, I'll show you
my
something.
love box?
Yeah. Takes him in there. They start making out. He's thinking he's going to get himself a piece. Pretty soon, first she like bites a hole in his neck, and then he's like, oh, that really hurt, but it was kind of hot. And then she's like, what did she say?
You want to see my love box?
No, there was like something about a la butt. Put it. What do you want it a la butt or something like that? It was something weird and gross. And he's like, yeah, if that's how you like it. And then she grabs like a Vlad the Impaler steak and shoves it right up his ass, and it kills him. So he's out of the equation.
More than one.
Yes, gives him like a good pounding with the Vlad the Impaler steak in the rectum. Don't have sex in gas stations, people. And if you do, know your partner.
Yeah.
If she looks like she came out of the Hills Have Eyes or Deliverance or Wrong Turn or any horror movie, really, and she's not the survivor girl, let's just move it all. Let's just move it along, okay? So that's pretty gnarly. Unfortunately, one of the inbred twinsies or whatever they are saw this whole thing and goes running out screaming to the dad figure, it happened, she did it again, she did it again. So here comes the dad and the girl, and she's like, sorry, I did it again. And then he slaps her. But the other kid sees this whole exchange, and he's like, oh, my God, they just killed my little friend. I'm going to get the fuck out of here. Where's my car? I don't know. They put it in the back somewhere. So he hops in the truck that they were spinning roadies in, and he's like, oh, I just stole their truck. I'm going to take off. I don't know what they did to the truck, but it only makes left turns.
Yeah.
So he just keeps going around in a circle, and they're all chasing him around. And he's like, what the fuck? I'm trying to turn the wheel. Eventually, they get him. They pull him out of the goddamn car, and that's about it. Cave Girls, Sven. That's exactly right. Looks like a subscription was canceled. You're exactly right, Sven. It's bad. So that's weird, and that's the end of our two little '90s kids. I kind of miss them. They were probably the best part of this whole movie. What do you think? No? All right, then, whatever. All right. So while all this is going on, our two cops are on the case, and they're trying to figure out what the fuck happened to this guy. They're getting like running toxicology reports on him, and he's got all his Vitamix crap in his system and weird drugs and things like that. It keeps going back to this Vimuville place and what the hell's going on there. So now we're going to cut to Vimuville. It's like it's almost cult-esque in a weird way because all the people that are already there, like staff, they've all been pumped full of this crap. Yeah. So they're all like super shredded muscle heads and they're
high voices.
Very, very high voices. Which I thought was kind of cute.
Yeah.
And you got like one or two random hot chicks that are like doing computer work and stuff like that. They're all very attractive, of course. And you have that queen bitch that was getting down on the couch at the beginning of the movie, and she's being just that, the queen bitch of the place. She's like telling people what to do and stuff like that. So the kids didn't make it, obviously. Now we're going to cut back to the pregnant couple. She's starting to get the rumbly tumblies in the pregnant belly because she drank the actual Vitamix bullshit. So she's like, oh, fuck, I got to go see a doctor. So she goes and talks to her doctor, pediatrician, I suppose. And she's like, dude, I drank the weirdo Vitamix stuff. The baby's kicking like a motherfucker. I don't know what's going on. Maybe I should take a dump or something. I don't know. I don't know what you want me to do. Doctor's like, no, it's fine. It's just Vitamix stuff is good for you. You're going to be good. It's all good. So she goes back home and she's like, okay, sweet. Well, I'll sleep it off then. As soon as she leaves, though, the doctor that she talked to gets on the phone and calls back to Vimuville, the queen bitch. And he's like, hey, man, we got to cut back the dosage on the pregnant lady because she's starting to get a little wacky. So now we know that the doctor is in on it, and he is kind of running the shit a little bit. And he's in with the queen bitch also, which is a bad sign. All right, now we're going to cut to our radio DJ. He is now having, I guess, another hallucination where the hot chick is riding him and pulling out a rib. Except this time she has like a jigsaw-esque tool bag, and it's full of ribs, and she's got like one empty slot, so she needs one of his ribs again. So she gets on him, starts riding, and pulls out a rib. He's like, okay, I got to go over to Pebbles Court and see what the damage is so far. Kids are out of the house. The Halloween 3 family is still there, but they're packing up and getting ready to go somewhere. The radio DJ guy, for all intents and purposes, should still be in his house. So he's like, I'm going to go check up on the radio DJ guy and see what's going on. Goes to his house. I don't know what the fuck happened to the radio DJ guy.
It excelled.
Something weird happened to this dude. He basically turned into the Toxic Avenger.
Oh yeah.
But in a very Creature of the Black Lagoon type of a way, because now he's got like big bug eyes and he's all sweaty and oily and he's like and so the doctor walks in and he's like, hey, Paul, you in here? What's up? And then here comes this fucking thing around the corner. And that's all he does, really. He with his big eyes like, doctor's like, you know what? And then he injects him with something and presumably kills the DJ guy. I thought the DJ Mark, he was out of the equation.
Yeah.
All right, excellent. So now we're down to our pregnant couple, our runner guy who is still crisp and clean out there running laps.
That's who I like.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
He had like three lines of dialogue the whole movie. He's all right. I'm gonna go.
Yeah.
All right, and then we have our Halloween 3 family who is pulling out as the cops are pulling in. They're like, hey, we're going to this cool thing. We can't really talk about it. They're going to the Vimuville facility because they got their free vacation on. So they're pulling out. It is exactly the family from Halloween 3.
Yeah.
Overweight dad, kind of pushy, overbearing mom, 2 kids that don't give a shit about anything and hate everything. Skater kid and what was it, like a teeny bopper, kind of a with the headphones on, 90s kind of jazzercise kid, whatever you want to call her. I don't know. So they're loading up in the camper and they're heading to Vimuville for their big vacation.
Yeah.
All righty. So let's cut back to Vimuville, shall we? The queen bitch is there. 2 of the muscle heads, like her hired thugs, whatever, I don't know what their jobs were, are getting kind of antsy because they want more of their Vitamix, whatever you call it. Apparently, once you build up a tolerance to this shit, it's very addictive. It makes you look like $1 million. These guys look pretty good.
Yeah.
High pitched voices notwithstanding. And they need some more. And she's like, hey, you got your allowance for the day. Take it easy there, meatheads. We're gonna go. We need some Vimuville. So they're
higher, though.
Yeah, I know. I can't do it. my balls have dropped, buddy. I can't do the falsetto anymore. I'm 41 years old. From there, we cut to. Well, actually, we're gonna stay there. We're gonna note that the queen bitch of the place has like a very hot assistant chick. Well, very hot by mid-90s terms, I guess. She had like the monotard on. Remember that from the 90s? That full body wrestling suit thing that was hot for a second, and the teased hair. And she's pretty hot to try. She's like looking for some action. So she goes with one of the meatheads back to his little apartment or whatever it is, his little room, and he's watching some porno, and he's wanting to get on her. And she's like, okay, just hold on. I'm going to go take a shower real quick. She leaves the room. The porno is still going. This musclehead has got a raging heart on at this point, and he's watching the porno, and his dick just explodes. It gets like a big bulge, you know what I'm saying, like in the crotch region, and then he's like, oh, he goes to pause like on the blowjob scene, and then blood all over the place, and we have to assume that this guy's dead.
Mhm.
Now that's a bummer, and that's why you shouldn't be messing around with weird boner pills and things like that. Don't look at me like that. I know you. I know what you're up to there, buddy. I'm telling you right now, this is actually an intervention.
Oh, is that what this is?
Anyway, that's pretty gnarly. So one of the meatheads is out of the equation. So now our Halloween 3 family rolls up, and they're like, "Hey, we're here for our fame free stay here." I think it was the same porno the old lady was watching. That's right, the old lady was watching a porno. Yeah, that was nasty. That we glazed over that part. The part where in the love box, Grandma is hanging out,
Oh yeah.
and when the other kid goes in to find his horny friend, he stumbles upon Grandma Redneck, who's watching porno with like oatmeal dribbling down her chin. It's so gross.
They have grandma porn.
They do. I don't care for it. It's
I
not.
know, I can't.
Why would you do that? I don't go any older than MILF status. That's my porno.
Oh,
I go to the MILF, and then there is GILF and G-GILF, but I don't go above MILF. That's all right. Enough about the porno. So that's wacky, right? Exploding boners because of the Vitamix now, not to mention weird melting people and hallucinations and guys with tentacles coming out of their necks. So that's nasty. Here comes our family now, and they're here for their free vacation. The assistant goes out there and meets them along with the queen bitch, and she's like, "Hey, welcome to Vimyville. You're gonna leave here feeling like $1 million. We got all this cool stuff going on. Free food, big luxurious spread, all healthy stuff. They sit down for a meal. After that, they go to their rooms. The kid, the little boy, is like a 90s skater kid, and he's like cruising around the place. He finds his half pipe out there on the grounds in Vimyville. Now, this part has nothing to do with anything, except that we needed to get rid of this kid.
Yeah.
Because at this point, this family hasn't even touched the Vitamix stuff. And this kid just decides he's going to get on the half pipe and start doing the, the loopy-loos and the flippity-flops and the 1280s and the
And
9.
I laughed. Did you notice every time he came up in the air, he was like 6 foot tall and super skinny?
Of course, yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, he went from 12 years old, 3 foot nothing, to probably a 19-year-old professional skater like that and back, which is pretty impressive. But this part is kind of wacky because this kid's out there minding his own business, having a great time on a skateboard, eats shit, smacks his face into the ground, and dies.
He broke his neck.
Well, I know.
His sister said, "I hope you break your neck."
That has nothing to do with Vitamix, though. I feel like they got that one pinned on them for no reason whatsoever. Maybe they should have had a lifeguard on duty or something. I don't know. Is that something they have at skate parks as lifeguards? Probably not.
Skate guards, no.
Something, at least like a medical team.
Usually it's like a skate at your own risk.
Yeah, but it's a vitamin health spa type of a thing. You'd think there would be at least somebody with some EMT training or something. He was wearing his helmet too. He had the shin pads and all that shit.
No.
So he just didn't know what he was doing on the
He had a
skateboard.
helmet on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't he?
Oh, I thought he just had
Hat, helmet. No, let's see. They had headgear, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. More well protected.
The thought was there. It's the main thing. Idea of protecting his head. Anyway, kid's dead, and it's nobody's fault in particular. Here's the real problem here. Nobody particularly liked that kid because the family sleeps like a baby that night.
Yeah.
They don't even ask where he is. Hey, did you see Brian? No.
He got something out of the garage. I think he said.
All right. Well, we'll see him in the morning, I'm sure. We'll go to bed. So they all go to bed. They wake up the next morning. This is where things get particularly silly. Now, before we get to them, we're going to cut back to our police officers. We have our toxicology report back from the crazy driver. We have the dead DJ, and then we have the kids that are missing. So they're starting to put this together. They're getting all these weird toxicology reports from all these dead bodies, and they're starting to link it back to the Vitamix Vimyville facility. They're like, hey, we're going to take a helicopter to the Vimyville facility because we're way too cool to drive our cars, and we're going to start asking some questions. So they go and they tour the Vimyville facility, And the queen bitch gives him the nickel and dime tour, and the younger cop kind of hits on her a little bit. She kind of flirts him up a little bit. She wasn't that attractive, I didn't think. Even though we did get to see her naked, we could do a lot better. Then they get back in their helicopter and go because they think everything's copacetic there. So now we cut back to our family. This is where things get batshit crazy because the dad gets up, starts brushing his teeth, and he's like, oh, I got a runny nose all of a sudden. And then he starts sneezing, and then he just keeps sneezing and sneezing and sneezing, and like snot is flying everywhere, and it's coming out of him by the bucketfuls. Now, have either of you guys ever been exposed to CS gas? No, you? Well, it's the style of gas that they expose you to in the Marine Corps boot camp gas chamber. It has a very similar effect. It instantly hits you with a histamine reaction that makes you just produce and vacate snot at a cyclic rate. I probably lost about 3 pounds of snot in that goddamn room. It's very similar to this, except I was able to maintain consciousness and not choke to death on my snot. Obviously, I'm here to wear this stupid suit and be on a podcast.
Wow.
But that's basically what happens to this dude. He starts sneezing and freaking out, and then eventually he keels over, hits his head on a like a faucet or something like that, and that kills Dad. He's out of the equation.
Yeah.
Mom is like, "What was that big thump I just heard?" So,
It wasn't me, or his mom and dad have like a big age gap between them.
Oh yeah, they
I
did.
was like, are you sure that's not
yeah, no. Mom
Okay.
probably late 20s. Dad, I'm gonna put early 60s.
Okay.
With
It
the-
wasn't just me.
The gray chest hair and the gold chains.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As if to say, I'm young and hip with my gray chest hair. All right. So Mom goes in, sees Dad laying on the ground, freaking out. Oh, what the fuck? Goes to grab the daughter. The daughter's like, hey, let's grab Billy. We'll get out of here. Or Brian, whatever the kid's name was. They go out there and they see Billy's dead body on the half pipe, and they're like, we gotta get the fuck out of here. So they go and they just start hauling ass. They get to I guess it was like a small town nearby, doctor's office. So they're going to grab the doctor and take him back to try to help their dad. They're in the waiting room and they're like, doctor, you got to come to the Vinnyville facility. My dad just hit his head and stuff. And the doctor's like, Vinnyville? That is an abandoned chemical plant. There's nothing up there. Oh, abandoned chemical plant, kiddos. So the daughter is like, what the fuck are you abandoned? We're up there for a health retreat. And then the mom starts sneezing and freaking out. And then she spits out a 12.5-inch tongue. It just comes right out of there.
This
And-
was the most
And flopping around. I guess she chokes to death on her own tongue or something. She just keels over right there in the waiting room. Mom's out of the equation. Daughter's like, what the fuck is this? Cut back to the cops. Now, while all of this shit was going on, plot point number 316, the doctor and the queen bitch of the Vinnyville facility were like not getting along and
Right.
disagreeing on everything. So the doctor has decided he's had enough of her shit. He's going to remove her from power by murdering her with a very large caliber handgun. So the doctor is racing his car towards the Vinnyville facility. The police officers have put all this shit together. They're back in the helicopter going towards the Vinnyville facility. They come just to the parking lot of it as the doctor is running in with a gun, and they're like, "Whoa, look at that shit! That's something right there. He's got a gun. He's running in there. He's probably going to shoot somebody. Rude." So they touch down, and then the doctor is in there. Shooting stuff out of nowhere. We're going to cut to the queen bitch, who's like there working on the computer, and she's like, we got a little send the shipment and the thing, and then somebody comes in to talk to her, and she's like, and there's like snot flying all over the place, and her face starts melting, and the poor chick that came in to like bring her coffee or something is like, what the fuck is going on? And she's like, I'm fine. As her face is melting off. And eventually she just kind of collapses into a puddle.
Yeah.
All right. So now the police go rushing in. The doctor is in there looking for her with his handgun. The police go rushing in, trying to figure out, okay, we're going to put a stop to this shit. The two of them kind of, get into like a firefight. Well, not really. Like the doctor grabs a hostage and the cops have their guns drawn. They're like, "Hey, dude, you just fucking take it easy there." All right, so we have this retarded standoff between these two. Now, while that's going on, we're going to cut back to the Pebbles Court neighborhood where our pregnant couple, the young lady has gone full xenomorph on us. Okay, she has hatched for lack of a better term, a full-on xenomorph face hugger. Not only has she hatched it, but she shot it out of her vagina right into her partner's face. And of course, I mean, once that thing is attached to your face, really, you have no option other than to just eat the goddamn thing completely.
Right.
Which is exactly what he does. Just chews it up and eats it like a fucking man, buddy. You get a xenomorph attached to your face, you eat it.
That's right.
Fucking chew that son of a bitch up and choke it down.
More food fuck.
That's right. You want to face fuck me? I'm gonna eat your fucking ass. Son of a bitch, xenomorphs. Who do they think they are anyway? Don't scare me. Anyway, get your hands off me. So that he swallows this weird afterbirth thing or pre-birth, whatever the hell it is, and now he's all fucked up. The chick in the process dies. Like her pregnant belly opens up and like steam starts coming out. She's dead. So the other cops get there and like the EMTs and all that. They wheel her dead body out. The guy survives and they're like he's like catatonic all of a sudden, as he should be. They take him back to the police station and they're going to ask him some questions about what the hell happened to his fiance, wife, whatever it was. Cut back to the Vimuville facility. The cops have killed the doctor, as they should, because he was about to open fire on them. And they're like, all right, we're going to clean this mess up and get some answers. So they bring in like a whole CSI team, and they're scrubbing the place down and fingerprints and all that shit. And the cops are like, well, that's a job well done. They go back to the police precinct office, where all hell has broken out. They go walking in. The first thing they notice is that everybody's got green goop on them, and everybody's like in a panic state with their guns out and stuff like that. They're like, "Whoa, what the fuck is going on here?" The guy that ate the placenta or whatever the fuck that thing was is now freaking out and vomiting green shit all over everybody. I guess they were thinking about shooting him because they were all had like guns pointed at him. But really, he's just in the one dude's office, just kind of minding his own business, except he's vomiting green stuff. So the main cop, the older cop, goes in there. He's like, okay, son, just take it easy. And the guy's just like staring at him. His face like starts pulsating.
That's when you back away.
And little slits start opening up. And then he's like, well, son, you better take it easy. Like, calm your face down or something, or I'm going to shoot you. And then the guy's face just kind of goes back to normal, and that's pretty much into your movie, right? Or did something happen with the guy's face that I missed? I had pretty much tuned this movie out by this point.
I don't think so.
I think it was like the slits open up, and then like maybe some tentacles, and then that's the end of the movie.
No, the end of the movie, there was a postscript where the product was on like a gas
That's
station.
right. That's right.
Yeah.
The cops are going back to somewhere, and they stop at that gas station where the detergent was, and they're talking to the poor schmuck behind the counter, and he's like, "Oh, big mess up at the Vimuville thing," and he's like, "Yeah, good thing we got it cleaned up." As they walk out, they walk right past a Vimuville Vitamix display with like a bunch of bottles of the crap on it.
Oh.
That's the end of your movie. That is body melt.
Body melt.
Body melt.
I didn't remember that.
Well, what do you have to say for yourself?
I am so sorry. I don't know what I was thinking. I watched this back in the 90s, and then I recently watched it where I didn't really pay attention.
It's very hard to stick with this because this fucking story in this movie is all over the goddamn place. I don't know, man. It's if you want to see a better version of this, watch Street Trash.
Oh,
At least
yeah.
that has like a cohesive storyline.
Yeah.
This thing, it's like an explosion. It's like a bukkake of weird melting people in just random
green
scenes.
part kind of reminded me of what was that other childish movie, Ghoulies?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see that. Yeah, totally. if we had somebody going into a toilet or out of a
You
toilet.
know, I figured it out. So they named this movie Body Melt because they took bits and pieces of all the horror movies that we were saying this reminds us, and they just put it together and said Body Melt.
That makes more sense than the actual
There
movie.
you go.
And if they would have just said that, then I would be okay with it. I would not bother. I would not waste your time trying to explain this movie to you.
Because I don't know how we went from chemical to aliens coming out of your body and sprouts coming out.
Tentacles coming out and like giving you
Yeah.
a face thing.
I don't know.
Random hot chicks showing up, stealing your ribs,
Yeah.
taking ribs out of your body without.
Oh, we did get that part. Voice.
Oh yeah,
Having
where
sex.
he's nailing the assistant,
Yeah.
and I guess like just twists her head completely,
Yeah,
just like a
throws her.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And then he gets a bunch of the creepy crud on his back.
Mhm.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know what's going on here. That is Body Melt, my friends.
Yeah.
I'd say you can skip it.
Yeah.
I say you can skip it unless you're jonesing for some 90s Australian horror. In which case, there's still better movies out there, I'm sure
Or
of it.
you're getting high or intoxicated with your buddies.
That-
And you want
That would
to
that's
laugh your ass off.
that's a good one.
There
If
you go.
if you are altered in some way, like maybe you've been eating Tide Pods since 3 p.m. and you want to get into some Tide Pod horror, if
Pod horror.
if you are terrified of laundry detergent, this is the movie for you.
Yeah.
If you're terrified of plots that make sense, this is the movie for you. If you hate Australia, this might be a good one to check out.
Yeah. Or if you like hydroxide, this is the movie for you.
If you have a pain pill addiction. All right, inmates. That was Body Melt from 1993. I think we all agree that you can skip this motherfucker because it is not very good. And I'm sorry that I have now wasted 56 minutes and 59 seconds of your time walking you through this nonsensical plot, but that's what my job is.
Oh, hi, man.
Hey, cross checks in the house.
Hey.
Carolina Reapers or the type. I'll take the Reaper. I'll
Yeah,
take the
me
Reaper.
too.
We've already done the Reaper, Matt. I'm okay with that. Tide Pod probably give me the runs, or
Yeah,
worse. I'm not doing it.
No.
All right, inmates. We're gonna take us a little break. We'll come back with some other stuff. Oh. We'll take another minute or two here on the live feeds if anybody has any questions or comments, concerns. If anybody out there actually wants to watch Body Melt, you can find it right now on Tubi TV. TUBI. It's a Roku channel. I think they may also have a streaming service. I have no idea. I'm going to say you go ahead and skip it because there are better movies on Tubi TV and Shudder and Amazon Prime and Hulu and Netflix and YouTube.
Tubi has a lot better movies.
Tubi has better
Prime.
movies. I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Dude, some of the crap you find on Prime these days.
Oh my god.
I don't know why our movie isn't on Amazon Prime. That's how bad it's gotten.
Why can't we put ours on there? We should be able to.
We probably could if anybody,
Short movie feature.
if anybody wants to put some effort into that. And none of the slimes seem to be contagious. That's exactly right, Rebecca. I don't know what everybody at the police office was so worked up about. They didn't need to have their guns drawn. Really, they just needed a mop. Could have took care of all that shit. We are not eating Tide Pods. That's a millennial appetizer. I'm bringing Reaper sauce with me for Friday. Bring your Reaper sauce, Matt.
Oh.
Ben says we all need Jesus.
Amen.
Preach on, brother. Alrighty. Well, it's your pick, man. What do you want to do next week? Join us next week. You're in Body Part Horror Month. Ooh, this is Buddy's idea, by the way. Let's see what he says for next week. Can't possibly. If you had to say Body Melt was specific to one particular body part, which body part do you think it would be? Penis?
No, mostly the face.
Face?
Yeah.
Rib, maybe.
Well,
Rib cage?
everybody's face always started doing first.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. Jesus needs us, or was that the main dish? I don't know what you're talking about, Landry. replying to Jesse. Oh, the Tide Pods? No, we're not. We're not going to eat Tide Pods. I do have Monica talked into eating one of those Beyond Meat burgers.
Oh my
Jesse,
God.
that's going to be our next food challenge. I find those things disgusting.
So do I.
She finds them like morally reprehensible. She is vegan.
Vegetarian.
I thought you were vegan.
No,
No?
I am not crazy.
I could tell you some stories about this one, but I won't. What do you think, buddy?
Coma,
Coma.
Coma.
What year is that?
1978.
Oh, Jesus.
What is it about?
Probably about a coma. Somebody in a coma, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, inmates, join us next week for Coma,
Oh,
right here on the Psycho Bunny Death Cult channel. Oh, the podcast will be out later tonight.
they smell like I agree.
I agree completely.
Bleh. And they're supposed to bleed. Bleh.
I can't
God,
wait.
I'm a girl. I don't eat those kind of things like you guys.
I'm a girl too, and I do. Well, I mean, I don't know. I just don't want to do it. Okay, how about we just leave it at that? I don't want to fucking do it. Sounds gross. All right, inmates, join us next week for Coma. Thank you very much for joining us. The regular Padded Room podcast will be out for you to download later tonight. This live show is actually a very small portion of what we do here on the show. You can find everything you need to know about us at psychobunnydc.com or paddedroompodcast.com. Us, all of our affiliate shows, this show in particular, along with our almost 400 episode catalog, will be there for you to download and enjoy at your leisure. Thank you again for joining us. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
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 That's cute, ain't it?
We should have. We always say we're going to do that. Oh.
Who stars in that coma? Anybody?
I just closed it.
Oh, I'll look it up.
Michael Douglas? Yeah.
Oh, buddy, 2 hours? Oh,
You can thank me later.
oh my goodness. Oh my God, Anton Selleck.
Hey, can I choose something off of Voodoo for the immersion therapy, or is that too
Can
small?
we find it anywhere else?
It might be Voodoo specific.
Never mind.
It's called right
Right?
burning.
That's a good one. Can we find it somewhere else? Though?
Burning Bright.
That's the one where the during the
Oh,
tornado.
okay, no, it's not that one.
Oh, huh?
Are you thinking of Brightburn?
Brightburn.
Oh, that's the kid.
Oh, that's probably not for free. It just came out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably not.
2019.
That's probably not for free then. Jesse.
That's on Voodoo.
I mean, I already seen it, so it doesn't matter to me. So. Yeah, that one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Of course you did. Which one is that one?
We're gonna get a, what's it called, Monica? Brew bike?
Brew bike.
It's like a 10-seater bike
You know, the one in downtown.
that just,
Oh, yeah,
you pedal around downtown and they take you to all the bars.
Uh-huh.
So we were looking at it before we came home. You can fit up to 15 people on those.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, so, but we're gonna do like like a private thing, so it's just us.
Mhm.
We can do it next Friday at 5:30. You think you can make that happen? It's a 2-hour gig. I think there's another one at like 6, if that's easier.
What time is it?
5:30. This coming Friday. Is there a big? Would it be a big difference between 5:30 and 6?
I'll just,
You sure?
yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna grab another slice.
What time does-
Maybe do the 6 then, that way.
Yeah, they don't- Ay, 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 ay. Ay, 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 ay. What's up, buddy? You have clothes that don't fit you? What are you gonna do with them? Oh, okay. Well, I've been watching that,
Hmm.
that documentary on Hulu about the real Night Stalker that was just over on the
Sacramento one, yeah.
Ah. I just cannot believe that guy, that no man could take